In the luminous domes of Seraphis Station, beauty and strength determined worth. The alien races that congregated in this trade nexus prized genetic perfection above all. Faults, whether mental or physical, were seen as burdens to be offloaded. So when Princess Lira of the Valari suffered a spinal injury during a diplomatic raid gone wrong, her fate was sealed, not with compassion but exile. The Valari were an elegant, bioluminescent species whose spinal crystals shimmered with internal energy, an energy that controlled movement and emotion. When Lira's crystal core cracked, her body fell silent. No light, no command, no use. A princess turned relic. To avoid the shame of euthanizing one of their own, the Valari chose a more dignified disposal, diplomatic gifting. They sent her to the humans, the lowest species on their status scale, in a twisted act of mercy. She was placed in the care of Elias Thorne, a human xenomedic stationed on the fringes of the diplomatic quarter. Elias wasn't told much, only that he'd been chosen for a special integration trial. When they wheeled her in, unmoving but eyes alive, he felt both awe and sorrow. "What's her name?" he asked, watching her silver-blue skin glisten faintly in the filtered station light. "Lira of House Solvon," the attendant replied dismissively. "Now merely Lira." Then they left. The first days were silent. Lira refused to speak, though she could. Elias verified it from her neural scans. She didn't blink often, didn't react when he cleaned the nutrient ports or adjusted the hoverchair cradling her paralyzed form. But he talked anyway. "You should have seen Earth before the oceans boiled," he'd say, gently adjusting her sensory monitors. "We used to build cathedrals for hope. Now we build stations for survival." She didn't respond, but her vitals spiked slightly when he played old Earth music, especially string instruments. It became their ritual. Every evening, Elias would sit by her side, a datapad in hand, classical melodies swirling around them as stars streaked past the viewing glass. One night, as the soft notes of a violin concerto echoed in the medical quarters, her lips moved. "Beautiful," she whispered. Elias froze. "The music." Her eyes flicked toward him. "The sound. And your persistence." He chuckled, relief blooming. "Well, I figure if you're stuck with a human, I might as well make it tolerable." Something strange passed across her eyes. Part grief, part curiosity. "You do not see me as a burden." "Never," Elias said, voice firm. "You're not broken, Lira. Just different now." Weeks turned to months. With the help of old Terran neurointerfaces, Elias experimented with micropulse stimuli around her fractured spinal crystal. First, there were no results. Then, during a late-night session, her fingers twitched. Lira gasped, a sharp, shocked sound, and stared at her hand. "It moved," she whispered. "It did," Elias said, voice shaking. "We're not done yet." Her mood shifted from detached to engaged. She asked questions, demanded updates. She began smiling. Awkward, uneven smiles at first, but radiant in their sincerity. And she started watching Elias with an intensity that made his heart race. One evening, as he adjusted her exosuit straps, his fingers brushed her collarbone. "You blush when you touch me," she said. He hesitated. "Your skin's warmer now. Increased circulation. That's a good sign." "That's not what I meant." Elias stepped back. "Lira, you fear your feelings." He met her eyes. "I fear what this means for you. For your people. For mine." "I was nothing to them," she said softly. "Discarded. To you, I am someone again." Elias swallowed hard. "You're not just someone. You're everything now." The breakthrough came 4 months later. He stood. only for 5 seconds and only with support from the neural assist frame, but it was enough. Lira cried, silent, glowing tears cascading down her cheeks as her spinal crystal sparked with faint light. It was fractured, yes, but alive. Like her. When the news spread, the Valari responded with indifference. The human found utility in her, they said, as if that erased the cruelty of abandonment. But others noticed. Species that once dismissed humanity now sent envoys to Elias, seeking treatments. Some brought wounded ambassadors. Others brought bribes. He refused them all. "I'm not a miracle worker," he told a chancellor from the Krenthari Dominion. "Just a man who gave someone a chance." Behind him, Lira watched with quiet pride. As Lira regained partial mobility, she began designing her own suit, sleek, functional, and ornamented with Valari light threading that glowed in sync with her emotions. She looked regal again. But when she wore it for the first time, Elias only had one word. "Stunning." "You say that often now," she teased. "Can't help it," he replied. "You keep stunning me." Later that night, in the quiet hum of the medical ward, she asked, "Would it matter to you if I never fully walk again?" He turned toward her, voice low. "You're already more than whole to me." Her breath caught. "Then I want to live with you. As more than a patient." Elias hesitated. "You mean?" "Yes," she said, stepping forward with trembling grace. "I love you, Elias Thorne." He reached for her hand. "Then let me love you in return." Their bond caused controversy. Valari diplomats called it a disgraceful entanglement. Others labeled it a human manipulation. But Lira silenced them with a single speech, broadcast across Scifi Station. "I was once royalty," she said, standing beside Elias with her light thread suit gleaming. "But when I could no longer shine as they expected, they cast me aside. This human, a species they mock, found value in me, not as a symbol but as a person. If that is disgraceful, then may disgrace be honored forever." The speech sparked a movement. On worlds where strength ruled above empathy, individuals began to question. Other discarded aliens found human allies. A coalition formed, small but powerful, where compassion was the new currency. Lira became a leader. Elias became her partner in both healing and diplomacy. Together, they transformed from outcasts into icons. Years passed. Lira never fully walked again. But with her neural enhancements and determination, she danced, slow, radiant movements that mesmerized those who watched. Elias watched most of all. On the 10th anniversary of her rehabilitation, under the stars of a neutral moon, he proposed. "I once thought I was assigned to help you," he said, holding a carved Valari crystal in his palm. "But the truth is, you saved me too. You showed me love where I thought there was only duty. Will you be my wife, Lira of House Solvon?" She took the crystal and pressed it to her chest. Light flared. "Yes, Elias of Earth," she said. "Let us build a future that even stars envy." They married under the twin suns of Seraphis, attended by hundreds. Aliens, humans, outcasts, diplomats. It was more than a union. It was a declaration that love, real love, needed no perfection. It only needed two souls who saw each other, fully, beautifully, without condition. And in the quiet after the vows, as Elias held her hand and her light shimmered softly against his skin, she whispered, "They gave me to you thinking you would pity me. But you gave me something they never did." "What's that?" he asked gently. "A life worth living."